I've set up a little bit of gear to be able to work on the song by the Arrows. And so I'm going to show you. Come this way. We have here this amp that I did not know, but it's pretty amazing. It's fairly new and beautiful, has lots of different options. Probably going to use it for most things because I really love the way it sounds. I also have an old Vox, that's an old Vox, which I love. And then a twin reverb over there. So depending on what sounds we go for, we have good choice. FET 47, SM57, so we covered for microphones. Bunch of pedals, lots of overdrives. We won't be using the drums, but they look pretty. And then here we have a bunch of synth. A Juno 60, fantastic. An SH2, which sounds really, really gnarly. A Moog source. And then a little fatty, which is great and has lots of fun features to make tones with. And here I have my Pro Tools HD native rig with an Omni interface. So basically I have everything all in one with the laptop, inputs, mic pre's, everything I need. And I put it here so I could sit with the musicians and we could interact and make music in real time. And over there I set up a mixing session with an HDX rig and HDIO and a bunch of stuff. I'm probably going to track vocals here too, so I have a choice of color for the preamps for the vocal. And that's about it. That's the setup.
I love these old
Do you have a
things.
session for me? Like a demo session or something?
I do.
Thank you. Great. Up. Let's see. And voila. Shall we listen to it? Okay, that's a great demo. How did you get those drums?
We just had our drummer play it on an electronic drum kit.
Oh, literally record audio into
Yeah,
it? Cool.
we just quickly did it like that.
Do you mind if I quantize them so we can listen to the song without worrying about the... Okay, so
Go ahead.
Quickly make it quantize. I'm not going to be too tight on it, you know, say
Yeah.
this should do. This will be easier to listen to. And then let's listen to some stuff. This riff is awesome.
Yeah, the bass riff.
Yeah.
We're definitely going to...
It's kind of meant to not sound so much like a bass, but it,
Right, well, I
at the same
think
time,
I have ideas. And then I like this a lot. What is this? What is this?
It's the keyboard.
That's just the keyboard, yeah. Straight in. Tweaked
Yeah.
a bit on
So-
the keyboard, made it as dirty as I possibly could, and that was
Yeah.
it.
You definitely made it dirty. So everything's played in here.
Yeah.
Yeah, even
Okay.
played.
I'd like to discuss the structure a little bit. I just want to make sure we all agree.
Cool.
What's the idea behind the song?
I think we wanted to write something very repetitive, catchy, repetitive, and actually try to use as few chords as possible.
Yeah.
We have
Okay.
a tendency to overuse chords.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we were going for a more simple structure, more repeats.
Well, it's funny because what you came up with is actually an unusual structure to me.
That tends to happen.
That makes sense.
Okay, because I mean, I hear, you know, boom, bam, to boom, bam, and the whole
Yeah.
riff. Then you have one song structure like a verse, and then you go into a second one. Then you have, and if I only knew, and that's kind of a pre-chorus.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
everybody is waiting for the chorus. except you don't go there.
Yeah.
And you go to a third verse.
An extra repeat.
Yes. So you have a third verse before you hit the chorus.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah.
Me too.
I mean, it's a great riff. So, you know, we can leave it like this. We can always cut it up later.
Yeah, we
Okay.
can see.
But I like to cut it in the current structure.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah, me too.
So I had a question for you here, which I'm assuming is the bridge.
Oh, if I only knew, oh, if I only knew, oh, if I only knew. You only listen with your eyes, so I show you every time.
So this is like a semi-rap kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's no drums. You just didn't feel like playing drums?
I think we just didn't get around to it.
Okay.
We knew we were coming to you, so we thought, let's just do what's important
He's
right
got
now.
the idea now.
All right, so, okay, I have an idea for that too. Before we do anything, I'd like to import some markers in here so we know exactly the structure. So I have a template that I tend to use. Here you go, markers, import. This is usually an intro and verse, a pre-chorus, a chorus, a verse, a pre-chorus, a chorus, a bridge. So I can use the same template on everything. I just have to make sure it falls on the right bars. What does this do?
If I knew it's just,
Intro,
oh, if I knew,
verse 1.
make them louder, asunder. Oh, if I
This is not the first pre. The first pre comes later because you have two verses in a row. This is the first pre.
oh, if I only knew, oh, if I only knew, oh, if I only knew. Oh, if
So this is a pre-chorus,
Yeah.
which does not go into a chorus as we said before.
Nope.
You guys are sneaky. Then second pre-chorus,
oh, if I only knew.
and then the first chorus comes here, right here. This is tedious, but it's important. Chorus. I'm assuming the second chorus is after the first chorus. Okay, here we get into verse 3. Let's see what's going on here. What's going on here?
It was I slumber, heaven on fire.
Ah, there's a little purgatory bar here. Lovely. So this is the second chorus.
If I knew the words to say, would you?
All right, then here's the bridge.
Oh, if I only knew. Oh, if I only knew. Oh, if I only.
Let's see, that has two parts. Something comes in here.
You only listen with your eyes, so I show you every time. Oh, I show you every time.
That's cool. What happens after?
If I knew.
Okay, maybe we should accent that.
Yeah.
Make something out of it.
That's nice.
Otherwise, it's just like bridging back into the chorus. It's kind
Yeah.
of boring.
Yeah.
All right, so I'll make a note of that. Or let's call it breakdown chorus here. And then last chorus here. And then the end. All right, great. So now we can always have a good idea of the song structure right here. So we can jump quickly. So I'm really intrigued by that riff. And I think, yeah, that. So I think it would be cool to have a gnarlier, kind of like
Absolutely.
angrier sound.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
and I saw you
Yeah.
play with that guy.
Good idea.
It's good.
Yeah, I like it too. Right, here, why don't we just start recording something just to see how we feel today. Great, I want to call it new riff. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to color it, say green. So now we know everything that's gray is the old stuff.
Okay, cool.
And then we'll know what we can keep and what we can get rid of with the color. Why don't you drive and I'll play.
All
yeah, then we can
right.
see what's going on there.
Come on over. All right. That's nice. Oscillator 1. Yeah, it has a sub too.
That's cool. That
Nicely,
is epic.
nicely out of tune. And then, so, resonance. That's the part. What's C, right?
Yes.
That is awesome.
Nice, right?
Yeah.
You should probably tune this. So if you want to bring a tuning plugin, that'd be awesome.
Okay.
Nice. Cool, so let's see. Whoa. That's good enough for rock and roll.
That sounds
this.
amazing. That'll
Yeah,
work.
right.
That's
That'll
got a
work
nice
great with
zing
the
to
bass.
it.
Yeah, and since we're gonna have a real bass, this will give it
Yeah.
some grit, I think. Plus, it's fun.
It's a lot of fun.
And then for the something like this at the end, right? So we could do is give it a filter thing with this, so that would go like that.
Yeah, that's right.
Awesome. Can you give me a click, please? And maybe mute the old bass because it's out of tune and we're replacing it anyway. And here we go.
Oh, if I knew words to say, I would say them over. I'd say them over and again, make them louder thunder, louder thunder, louder thunder, ringing right through the atmosphere, make them louder thunder. Oh, if I knew words to say, I would say them over. I'd say them over and again, make them sweeter slumber, sweeter slumber, sweeter slumber. Whisper them deep inside your head, make them sweeter slumber. Oh, if I only knew.
Okay, dig it?
Yeah.
Dig it?
Yeah.
Okay,
sounds great.
this really makes me want to listen to bass under it.
Yeah.
See how far I can get. Also, I want to record sample beats on the chorus and a soft synth to double the part.
And again.